I'm Aaron with Erskine. Today I'll be going through our HD trencher. So as you can see, we've got this trencher out on site here. We're doing a little bit of digging, a little bit of running through the ground, some different ground conditions. And that's the beauty of it. So we make a lot of different chains for this to make sure to match your setup and what you need for your machine. We've got 3-foot standard flow, 4-foot standard flow, and then we've got 4-foot high flow. This chain also comes in multiple configurations. So you can do a double cup tooth, which has this arm material on there. So that's abrasion resistant material for digging in tough ground conditions. Then we also offer it 50-50 as seen here with the scorpion tooth. So the scorpion tooth is carbide tipped, digs really well through roots and hard ground. And then we also have a configuration for a 50-50 with bullet teeth. That is a carbide bullet that we use on our cold planers and rock saws that spins as it enters the ground. And then that is really good in hard rock areas. We have multiple chain options too as far as width goes. We offer a 6-inch and an 8-inch chain. You can see these are really robust and can be easily replaced if needed. But you can see the way that these are held together. These are 50,000 tensile strength chains. These are made to be beat up. They're made in these hard ground conditions where they really need to dig into the soil and eliminate any downtime you may have on a job where you're trenching in water lines, electrical lines, things like that. So I want to talk about the boom configuration down here. You can see here we've got a 4-foot digging depth configuration here, again with that 50-50 cup with scorpion. And as far as the boom goes, what's inside of this boom actually in here is the heart of this. So that this has an adjustment on the inside for being able, you can see down below, you can change the way the chain tensions on this. So you can make sure you get it perfectly aligned and readjust it as the chain does wear. You also, inside the boom here, there is a giant spring from front to back. And what that does is that as you catch a rock and it comes back through here, a lot of cheaper trenchers, that aren't as robust, they'll kick the chain off because the rock forces that off to the side. What this allows us to do is that when this rock gets sped through here, it'll actually shrink the boom to allow for that rock to pass through, but keep tension on the chain so that doesn't come off. And you can see we've got wearable pieces inside of here too for the longevity of this trencher for years of use. On the front boom here, you'll see we've got a 2-inch by 2-inch tube all the way through, runs the length here, all the way through the machine, and then attached here is our Crummer. So our Crummer allows for it to clean out the trench as you trench backwards. And you can see it's got a little bit of mobility here, so it can move up and down, so that way it follows the contour of the trench as it rides and cleans that trench out. In the back here, you've got a couple different features. For one, you've got the adjustable spoil auger. This has a couple different adjustments if you want to bring your spoil further away from the trench. As you can see, this is some 5/16 flighting. It's really robust in the fact that when you kick those rocks out, you can see them actually start to fly a little bit, even on the bigger rocks. This thing takes a beating. And then here, you've got your manual side shift. So you pull this pin here, like so, pull that pin out, take that, and then you can side shift that over. It has 24 inches of side shift built in. They just put this back in place. So now we're going to look at the business side of the trencher other than the chain. We're going to look at this robust motor here. So here's a Parker motor. This thing is rated, on high flow up to 45 gallons per minute. On standard flow, it runs 15 to 32 gallons per minute. So it's going to cover basically any skid steer on the market now and in the near future. I haven't seen anything that's come out even bigger than that yet. And then down here, the backbone, you got a 1-inch plate here holding all this together. Then you've got a bent form 1/4-inch piece here as far as the foot. That controls the depth of the trencher as you're sliding along. You can see just the entire build of this unit is just really made for longevity. We want this thing, it's in some hard, tough ground conditions. We want to build it the best we can to eliminate downtime for you. As you can see, the whole overall build of this trencher is just really robust in the fact of the way the reinforcement plates are, the key components that we use for longevity. This is made to last for years, and that's why this has a 2-year warranty, backed by Erskine here as far as, being able to take care of your parts, service, warranty, after the sale. We've been in business for 75 plus years, and this is why, because we build attachments like this because you can't afford downtime. So we're gonna just take this down, lift it up in the air, get our trench down in there. hard rocky ground here. This is on a standard flow trencher, 4-foot standard flow machine. As you can see, we're just digging straight down, catching a couple rocks here and there. They're pretty heavy coming all the way through the backside here. So we'll get our trencher all the way down to the depth we're looking for. Start doing a little bit of pullback. Some heavy rock. So all we do is pull back up a little bit. All right, so we're gonna try this a little bit now, a little concrete, just to see what it does. Be similar to running across the rock, I would assume, but be a little bit more tough. So you can see that that chain's hopping on there. So you can see we did a little bit of damage here. Ran these teeth through. You can see this, you know, again, this abrasion resistant material on the cup teeth is really critical on your trencher, because this is obviously a big chunk of concrete. We're just trying to simulate a rock and what it's going to do. Most of the time it's going to kick the rock out or to the side, but you can see, like on an obtrusive rock where you're really running into it and you want to cut that thing down, you can see how these teeth are handling that. I mean, we ground there for, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. And basically the teeth just need to be washed. So you can tell this thing, again, the way it's made, the way that everything the engineers have thought of and how we've developed and tested this thing over the years has really pushed this thing to the limits. So that way when you do it, you can do the same thing. You're able to push this thing to the limits. You're able to make sure that you don't have any downtime, because downtime is a big factor when running a business, and having that extra guys standing around that they're waiting on for machinery. That's why we have that 2-year warranty backed by 75 years of experience in learning how to do this and making mistakes and then making a better product, you know, when we do those things. So I mean, looking at this here right now, you can just see what this thing will do in the dirt, in the rock, in any kind of soil. For more information on this Erskine HD Trencher or any of our other 150 plus offerings, visit erskineattachments.com or your local dealer.